work with people that you love working with, and it will just be so much easier and just fun. We started sending each other references, either of films or just photos or even colors. So we would just sit and read the script together and talk about every single scene and what is the meaning of every scene and what is important to me. I have to say that this process also taught me a lot about the script because I had to, I think for the first time, I had to explain every single detail.
As a cinematographer, it's very tempting to want to jump right into, okay, what shots are we doing? How's it going to look? Da, 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 da. But if you don't understand the story in and out, then you can't make any of those decisions. I mean, a lot of people can shoot beautiful images and light beautifully, but knowing how to shoot something, knowing where to put the camera with what lens to tell the story or to put you in the character's point of view, that's the hard part of cinematography because that's the storytelling. And so I would advise anybody who's a director or a cinematographer to start the collaboration just breaking down the story. Don't even talk about shots, just talk about what's happening.
We know the film was going to be shot in Jerusalem, and we just started hanging around in Jerusalem in spots where we could shoot the film or ideas that we had about where we want to shoot it. I remember us just knocking on doors of apartments in the neighborhood just to get the feel of what it would be to live in one of these apartments. It wasn't about looking for an actual location, but more about getting the sense of the place, so we would know how to tell the story better. And we met like a lot of people along the way.
Yeah, getting back out of the apartments was the bigger problem. No one wanted to let us go. We knew which neighborhood the character was going to live in. We knew that we needed to physically be in the location ourselves and just stumble through alleyways and onto bridges and to find these little nooks. And at the end of the day, a lot of the locations that we shot were not places the location scout found, but places that we went to, on those days. And also the main apartment, we had a lot of trouble finding an apartment we could shoot in that was in the actual tenement neighborhood. And for a while, there was a suggestion that we shoot the interior of an apartment in a different neighborhood because it was easy, for production for various reasons. And we insisted on having, even though it was less convenient and it was up a lot of stairs and there was no way to light out the window. Usually you want to find an apartment on the ground floor so that you can light from the outside. And we gave up on all of that because we knew that the location of being high up in Jerusalem in a tenement, apartment was everything. And I honestly can't imagine the film, with a location where we were not consistently showing the outside. It wouldn't have been possible to make the same movie.
Yeah, it's difficult making a feature and it's difficult waiting time. That I would say is the most difficult thing. Just waiting for it to get funded, waiting for you to finish writing and rewriting. And you need to really want to tell the story. Otherwise, you won't be able to wait the time that you need to wait to make this film. So you have to really, when you make a feature film versus making a short, you really need to know that you're telling something that is so meaningful to you, that you would be able to do that for 7 years and not um, get exhausted on the way it's to a point where you don't want to do it anymore. And I think when you make a short, one of the most important thing is to have the next project. If you go to film festivals, you will meet people. It's good that you have a project that you can pitch. Like this is the best way to talk about your next project, just like having a beer and talking to someone without like having an actual pitch.
There is a simplicity because it's about these two women and their relationship. And these actresses are incredible. And so you can't overcomplicate the cinematography. You need to give them a stage. And so for me, I felt like the framing and everything we did was about giving the framework to them, to the human body, to the human face, and not so much about, uh, action or taking us here and there. It's just very simple, like lots of two shots, lots of, I mean, even quote unquote boring. If you were to write out the shot list without watching it, it would probably sound really boring. You know, when you're shot listing with your DP, don't just make a list. It's called a shot list, but I feel like that's a really bad term for it. Really close your eyes and watch the movie and watch the cuts and tell the cinematographer where the cuts are and your intention. And you don't always know it, you know, and so it's really important when you shot list to try and watch it, not just say, okay, we need a single, we have a long shot, okay, we're covered. You know, don't shoot coverage, shoot the story.